I'm with Mayor Bryan McGillis of South Stormont, Ontario. Mayor McGillis, after Dr. Talmer's letter about the bilingualism requirements for full-time nursing positions at the Cornwall Hospital, you started to make some phone calls and you have some very clear opinions of the situation.
Yeah, I was a little disturbed after I read the article in the Standard Freeholder regarding hiring on the merit of only French, the language first, and qualifications second. I mean, that to me, this could become a problem in the medical field.
Now, what about people that say that opinions like this are purely language-based or racist or prejudiced against French people?
Well, I mean, as far as being prejudiced, I don't want to make this even a language political issue. I think it's the issue I'm stating today is that it's important that everybody has an equal opportunity, and people should be hiring people on equality, not just based on first language. If you look at, for myself personally, most of my family's French. My mom's fluent in French, and I even had the opportunity to question and ask them what their opinion was with respect to what was in the paper that was written by Dr. Talmer. They all felt that I was right in stating that, the level of experience and qualifications should be first and foremost. How
big a problem do you think this is here in Cornwall? Because this is a Cornwall issue for the Cornwall Hospital. This isn't endemic across the province.
Yeah, well, they should hire bilingualism based on the amount of people in the area or in the region. So it should be regional, and to be fair with everyone. The Cornwall Community Hospital is a great hospital, and the municipalities have funded towards it, and so has in the counties. But I think that at this time, I think that we should take an opportunity to review the hiring policies and and ask them: is this going across the board, or is this only for people, or is it for the doctors and is for the administration, accountants, whatnot? I want to know what the board's doing. So I question the board's hiring policies.
Well, from our initial research, the board seems mostly unilingual. Anglophone, or certainly not officially bilingual. I don't think most of the board could pass the test that nurses are being asked to pass. Do you think there's an issue with having board members not being bilingual and doctors not being bilingual, but demanding it of nurses to that degree?
Yeah, for sure. If you're asking one group of people, under the Charter of Rights and the Official Language Act, everybody should be hired on the basis of equality. If my son's going to be a doctor very shortly, he'll be done in med school in May. He is fluently bilingual, but there's a lot of doctors that are not, and they would not. I don't know if they would have or not have the opportunity to work in the hospital that's hiring on that basis of only language first. I saw something in the paper this morning that really bothered me too. One lady wrote in the letter to the editor that that she wanted to be spoken to in French, even though that she was fluently bilingual and speaks English as well as French. Well, we can't afford that. That's very costly to this country. And I have nothing against the French. I hope people don't use that as a crutch against me. I think you should, if you're going to hire French, it should be on the basis of the amount of people in the area that speak French. Now, what Dr. Talmer wrote in the paper too as well, which I have a lot of respect for, he said that it was the preference, they did a survey, was less than 10% that wanted to be, their preference was to be communicated in French. Well, then hire that amount of people that are bilingual so that they can converse with if they want to be spoken in French. But don't turn around and just say, okay, we're going to hire everybody in French. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, and my understanding is that the hospital has a shortage of bilingual full-time nurses, but is paying a lot of overtime to part-time nurses who don't have that requirement. So that could end up costing the hospital more money. Now, you were talking.
That's what I meant by it's the cost.
Yeah.
On top of the wrongdoing of hiring on the merit of only French. Or a language. I don't know if they did a survey here in the STNG. I don't know if everybody knew this, but the survey, the outcome of that was that the majority of the second language was Dutch speaking in the households.
Wow.
So, you know, we have 2 hospitals within the STNG too. And it wasn't mandatory, it wasn't a bona fide regular requirement to hire, you know, Dutch administration, Dutch nurses or administration. But I don't know, it's just, to me, it's not right. I mean, everybody, there's a lot of, we have a school here, a college here in Cornwall, the city of Cornwall, where they have the nursing program there. And, you know, what incentive is just to go here and to want to stay in your own community and to want to go to the practice in the, you know, what your career is, and what advancements are they going to have too. That's another thing they have to question in their career. So I think it's I think the people are starting to stand up to this. I'm going to call it nonsense.
So what's the next step? What's the next step for yourself? We're here in the county's council chamber, and you speaking out now as mayor of South Stormont. What's the plan? What are you going to be doing next?
I feel that this whole policy, the hiring policy at the board level, at the city, at the Cornwall Community Hospital, should be revisited and reviewed. And also at the municipal level here too, we're going to review the money that gets allocated towards you know, those types of policies that are in place. You know, they want our money. You know, there's $2.3 million set aside here at the counties. And also we have at the municipal level, there's we've committed to $30,000 a year for 10 years, which equates to $300,000. Now that commitment runs out in 2015, so we're looking still at $120,000. And you add those two together. I'm going to ask maybe council to revisit that and review it and find out what are the policies, if in fact this is what is happening and what's going on here at the Cornwall Community Hospital.
Would you be willing to vote against those monies moving forward to the hospital if they refuse to change their policy?
Yes, of course I would. I mean, it's only logical that anybody would. I mean, again, there's every argument I heard that support hiring on that basis of the language, if you will, are very, very weak. The argument's very weak. I haven't heard anything strong, and if I do hear something different, my door is open to listen to anyone. Have
you spoken with, for instance, Mayor Kilger here in Cornwall, or our MP, Mr. McDonnell, or Mayor MP Lozon?
No, I'm going to ask our staff, and at the county's level staff too, to talk to the hospital and find out if in fact what I'm saying here is correct. If in the event this information is correct and this is going on, which I believe Dr. Tombler is correct. I mean, I don't think he and 2 other doctors would oppose something like that if they didn't believe strongly against it. I would, of course, ask my colleagues to second guess or to think about allocating funds towards any entity or any organization that's not hiring on fair, that's not giving fair treatment to everyone.
All right, thank you very much. And we are back with Mayor McGillis.
Thanks, Jamie. There's one more thing I'd like to add. When you look at what's going on in the province of Quebec, there's over 40% of the population that can't find doctors because of the restrictive language issues that are going on there. And people are moving out of Quebec for that reason. At our municipality, I know we had 32% residential growth in the last 15 years. And I think there's a reason behind a lot of people moving out of there, because it's not fair to everybody in the hiring practices. So if you look at here in the official language act, it says that there must be equal opportunity for career advancement for English-speaking and French-speaking Canadians. I only want to see fairness, that's all. And I think most people would agree with me.
So you're not saying that we have to cancel service in French in any way, shape, or form?
No, I don't say that. I mean, like I say, there's a lot of people that speak French, and we should have people that can communicate in French too, but not to say that we need everybody to have to communicate in French. So it's, again, it's the amount of people that's within their region where you should be fair with everyone.
Now, I know when you've done budgeting for South Stormont, your hands are tied. A lot of the budget that you spend in South Stormont have to do with programs that are mandated by the province or the federal government.
Under the Municipal Affairs Act, yes, that's correct.
Would you extend your position regarding the nurses here to federal and provincial employees?
I'm not sure what you mean, would I extend?
Well, in other words, a lot of federal and provincial positions require bilingualism.
Yeah.
Would you extend the same philosophy that
for
you're seeing to
sure.
the nurses to those positions?
Yes, I would too. I'd be willing to advocate for that as well. I don't know if the Cornwall Community Hospital is getting more funding because of the hiring practices that they're doing today. I don't know what that's what I'm going to find out, and that's what I want our staff to look into and do a little bit of research and find out. Is that the reason, or, I mean, I just want to be practical here, but ultimately I just want everybody to be fair. And I'm sure there's a lot of Anglophone nurses that are supporting me in this as well, because my daughter, she finished her food and nutrition management course, her program in Campville, and she's not fluently bilingual, so she would not have an opportunity to work at the hospital, and that's not fair. I mean, we lived here all our lives. I contributed taxes all my life, and I was eighth generation born here on a farm. So does that say something? I think everybody everybody should have equal opportunity, and that's all we're asking.
All right, thank you.